Hello friends, I am Mariam Garud, working as Assistant Professor in Institute of Technology, College of Engineering. I welcome you to module number 3, that is plane table surveying. So in this slide we are going to see what is plane table surveying. The plane table surveying is a graphical method of survey in which the field observation and plotting are done simultaneously. It is simple and cheaper. It is most suitable for small scale maps. The plan is drawn by the surveyor in the field while the area to be surveyed is before his eyes. Therefore, there is no possibility of omitting the necessary measurement. This slide shows the accessories which are used in the plane table surveying. They are plane LED, spirit level, trap compass, U4 with plumb box, board, drawing board and tripod stand. Generally, following equipments are used in plane table surveying. The equipments are plane table, tripod, LED, trap compass, spirit level, U4 with plumb box, waterproof cover, drawing paper, pins and drawing accessories. Tripod is one of the accessories used in the plane table survey. The plane table is mounted on a tripod. The tripod is generally of open frame type with combined rigidity and lightness. The tripod may be made to fold for convenience of transportation. Sometimes tripods are provided with push screw, but many times we are having the wing nut which is going to tight the table as well as tripod intact. This slide shows the typical figure of plane table survey with a stand. On the left part there is a top of the table, whereas below there is a bottom of table. So bottom shows the location where the wing nut is to be fixed with a plane table, so that the fixity of plane table and tripod is ascertained. Then the second accessory is LED. The LED is useful for establishing a line of sight. There are two types of LEDs used. One is simple LED and another is telescopic LED. And the simple LED is used for ordinary work. It is generally consists of a metal or wooden rule with two vertical vanes at the ends. The eye vane is provided with a narrow slit, while the object vane is open and carries a horsehair. Both the slits thus provide a definite line of sight which can be made to pass through the object to be sighted. This slide refers to the simple LED, showing the two vanes. One is object vane and another is sight vane, with a beveled edge on the right side, which is used to establish a line which is parallel to the line of sight. This slide refers to telescopic LED. It is used when it is required to take inclined sights. It essentially consists of a small telescope with a level tube and graduated arc mounted on horizontal axis. It gives higher accuracy and more range of sight. Generally, it is used to establish the contour in case of direct method of contouring. This is the image of trap compass, which is shown in a rectangular fashion as well as a square fashion with wooden box. At the center you will observe the magnetic needle, and on the right part you will observe the screw, and that particular screw has to be loosened or tightened whenever the needle is along the north-south direction. So the trap compass is required for drawing the line showing the magnetic meridian on the paper. It is used to orient the table to magnetic meridian. When the freely suspended needle shows 0 degree at each end, a line is drawn on the drawing paper which represents the magnetic north. Then the next accessory is spirit level. A spirit level is used for ascertaining if the plane table is properly leveled. The table is leveled by placing the level on the board in two positions at right angles and getting the bubble center in both positions, as shown in the figure. This is the typical image of spirit level, wherein you will observe the bubble which is not at center, so you can count the graduation which are there on the right as well as left, and try to bring equal number of graduation on left as well as on the right. This is another accessory called U4 with plumb bob. U4 with plumb bob is used for centering the table over the point or station occupied by a plane table when the plotted position of that point is already on the sheet. Also, in the beginning of work, it is used for transferring the ground point on the sheet. The below figure shows the table with a U fork where the pointed end of the U fork is on the paper, and which is going to represent the point on the paper, and when you drop a perpendicular, then it is going to meet to the ground point along the plumb line. Then we are going to see what are the advantages and disadvantages of plane table surveying. So in this slide we are going to see what are the advantages of plane table surveying. It is simple and cheaper than theodolite survey. It is most suitable for small scale maps. No great skill is required to produce a satisfactory map, and work may be entrusted to a subordinate. It is useful in magnetic areas where compass may not be used. The mistake in writing field book are eliminated. This slide refers to disadvantages of plane table surveying. It is not intended for very accurate work. It is not suitable in monsoon. It is essentially a tropical instrument. Due to heaviness, it is inconvenient to transport. Since there are so many accessories, there is likelihood of them being lost. This slide refers to principle of plane table survey. The principle of plane tabling is parallelism, means all the rays drawn through various details should pass through the survey station. The position of plane table at each station must be identical. That is, at each survey station, the table must be oriented in the direction of magnetic north. In this slide, we are going to see the methods of setting up the plane table. Three processes are involved in setting up the plane table over the station. First is leveling, second is centering, and third is orientation. This slide refers to the leveling and centering. The table should be set at convenient height for working on the board, say about 1 meter. The leg of tripod should be spread well apart and firmly into the ground. Hello friends, I am Mariam Garud, working as assistant professor in Institute of Technology, College of Engineering. I welcome you to module number 3, that is plane table survey. Then the next operation is orientation, the process by which the position occupied by the board at various stations are kept parallel is known as orientation. Thus, when a plane table is properly oriented, the lines on the board are parallel to the lines on ground which they represent. There are two methods of orientation. One is by magnetic needle and the other is by backsetting. This slide shows the accessories which are used in the plane table surveying. They are plane LED, spirit level, trap compass, U4 with plumb bob, board, drawing board, and tripod stand. Generally, following equipments are used in plane table surveying. The equipments are plane table, tripod, LED, trap compass, spirit level, U4 with plumb bob, waterproof cover, drawing paper, pins, and drawing accessories. Tripod is one of the accessories used in the plane table survey. The plane table is mounted on a tripod. The tripod is generally of open frame type. In radiation method of plane table surveying, the direction of object or points to be located are obtained by drawing radial lines along fiducial edge of radius after getting the object or points bisected along the line of sight of the alided. The horizontal distances are then measured and scaled off on the corresponding radial line to mark their position on the drawing. So in this slide we are going to see radiation method of plane table survey. Suppose P is a station on the ground from where the object A, B, C and D are visible. Then the plane table is set up over the station P and a drawing board is fixed on the table, which is then leveled and centered. Then a small point P is selected on the sheet to represent the ground point P. Then the north line is marked on the right hand top corner of the sheet with trap compass or circular box compass. With the alidade touching small p, the ranging rod at A, B, C and D are bisected and the rays are drawn. The distances PA, PB, PC and PD are measured and plotted to any suitable scale to obtain the points small a, small b, c and d representing the ground points capital A, B, C, D on paper. In the simple LED used for ordinary work, it is generally consists of a metal or wooden rule with two vertical vanes at the ends. The eye vane is provided with a narrow slit while the object vane is open and carries a horsehair. Both the slits thus provide a definite line of sight which can be made to pass through the object to be sighted. This slide refers to the simple LED showing the two vanes. One is object vane and another is sight vane with a beveled edge on the right side, which is used to establish a line which is parallel to the line of sight. In method of radiation, suppose A and B, these are the two stations, and P is the object on the far bank of a river. Now it is required to fix the position of P on the sheet by intersection of rays drawn from A and B. Because P is a point which is visible but we are not accessible because of the river. Therefore, the table is set up at A, it is leveled and centered so that a point on the sheet is just over the station A. The north line is marked on the right hand top corner by making use of trap compass. The table is then clamped. With the alidade touching small a, the object P and the ranging rod at B are bisected and rays are drawn through the fiducial edge of alidade. So in this slide we are going to see what is plane table surveying. The plane table surveying is a graphical method of survey in which the field observation and plotting are done simultaneously. It is simple and cheaper. It is more suitable for small scale maps. The plan is drawn by the surveyor in the field while the area to be surveyed is before his eyes. Therefore, there is no possibility of omitting the necessary measurement. This slide refers to method of intersection where the river is shown and P is a point which is on the opposite of the plane table. And here A and B, capital A and capital B, these are the position of 2 points where the plane table is to be set up. Initially at A we are going to set the table and we are carrying out the leveling, centering, and we are trying to establish a line of sight with a point B, with a ranging rod at B. And after establishing a line of sight with B, we are trying to establish a line of sight with a object P which is lying on the opposite of river, and then we are drawing a ray towards the point P. Then we can shift the plane table from station A to station B, and then after carrying out the temporary adjustment of plane table serving, that is centering, leveling, we are going to set the instrument over the point B, and after from point B again we are trying to place the planar radiate along the line BA so that the ranging rod at A will be bisected, and then we are trying to establish a line of sight with a object which is lying on the opposite of the river P, and where the two rays they are going to intersect, that is the position of P. This is method of addition. Then the next accessory is spirit level. A spirit level is used for ascertaining if the plane table is properly leveled. The table is leveled by placing the level on the board in two positions at right angles and getting the bubble center in both positions, as shown in the figure. This is the typical image of spirit level, wherein you will observe the bubble which is not at center, so you can count the graduation which are there on the right as well as left, and try to bring equal number of graduation on left as well as on the right. This slide shows the typical figure of plane table survey with a stand. On the left part there is a top of the table, whereas below there is a bottom of table. So bottom shows the location where the wing nut is to be fixed with a plane table, so that the fixity of plane table and tripod is ascertained. Then the second accessory is LED. The LED is useful for establishing a line of sight. There are two types of LEDs used. One is simple LED and another is telescopic LED. This is called method of traversing, where the station A, B, C and D, capital A, B, C, D, these are the position of plane tables. At each station we are supposed to carry out the three operations, namely centering, leveling and orientation, and after getting the orientation we can locate the interior details inside the traverse stations.